Hello, and today we will be building the Indra by CaptainSlug. It is a bolt-action mag-fed homemade Nerf blaster designed for full and half-length darts. I have printed all the blue pieces out of PLA, the white pieces out of PLA, and the orange pieces out of PETG because most of them are functional pieces like the trigger or the catch that I wanted to have some extra strength. So it says, as to assemble this blaster, you'll need a flathead screwdriver, a small Phillips head screwdriver, a 3/8 inch combination wrench, and a round needle file, which I do not have, but I believe that's for cleaning up holes in prints, and I think mine are all pretty good. If I need something, I'll figure it out. You may also need a 3/8 inch socket and a square drive extension to use with it. So I have that. And up here it says you need scissors, most likely for cutting this elastic. I have these cutters. So I'm going to move some of this because I don't need this all immediately and I need some work area. So I'll cut to once I've done that. Alright, so now that I've done that, the first step is to take the two stem prints and put them together with an O-ring over them. I have already glued them together with some epoxy because otherwise I did not think they would they would stay in place very well. I didn't want them to slide around because it's a mechanical piece and it's an important one. So it says you stretch an O-ring over them. Which size is that? 0.12. So that is the smallest O-ring. Just stretch it over here, and then it says also to stretch it onto this back piece. Screwdriver. That makes sense. Sorry, I didn't have that very well on the camera. Forget that this is a video. Use a file to clean up the edges of prints and remove any burrs. I don't see any. Alright. So now I'll slide 0.16 size O-ring over the back and follow that with the plunger head. That is the second largest O-ring, so the middle size one. This. So put that over. And then the plunger head. Hope that poking out isn't an issue. Look. Alright, let me just try that again. And then get them on there, force it. Oh, you may need to use a hammer until they're flush or close to. Okay. So I guess you also need a hammer. See if that works, because the next step is to put O-ring on these tabs in an alternating way. I wonder if the O-ring will have enough thickness that it'll be fine anyway. And it looks like it does. So if it's not quite flush, if it's just a tiny bit sticking out, should be fine, it looks like. And then add the second one on the back. And then set the plunger assembly aside. So now we need the Bandle print and Ramby print. Let's see, what are all these? Need this and a small O-ring. And then, so it says, slide this print onto your lap, onto the back of this. And or am I supposed to do it like, okay, no, I can't because it won't fit. All right, so then I put the O-ring on. Or if I just put on the O-ring like that. Oh, okay, no. Slide them onto the back end. See? Read the instructions. Or just watch this video. Watch me make mistakes and then you don't have to do it yourself. Put those two together and then drive a 440 screw in each hole. So those are these small screws. Stop that one. That's right. And since this is just going into plastic, I want to be very careful not to strip it. Because I don't want to have to reprint these. And I don't want to have to redo this part of the video. And add 2 large O-rings to the back of it. Like this. See? And then add a small O-ring to the front. Reminds me of like building a Lego set. It's quite fun. This is actually my first 3D printed blaster build, so. Then add some silicone oil to the inside of one end of the plunger tube, then force the plunger tube over the O-rings at the back of the assembly. So we're going to put it together like that. First we need silicone oil. And I may want a rag. In case I spill off. You know, I wonder, would it work better instead of adding it to that if I add it to here? I'll just put it here where it says to. Some. Suppose that's some. I don't know how much I'm supposed to use. Smear that around. Easy. Oh, it's oil. Of course. I'll put that together. It says force a hex nut into this slot till it lines up with the hole in the side. That's not very forceful. And then you need a handle print and the long 1032 screw. Alright, so actually I assume this is since these instructions came out, Slug added a little knob to the file. So you have 2 options. You can use this handle like this, or you can use this knob. And I'm thinking I'm going to try the knob because I like the look of that. So instead of knob, if you want one of these, that's what you can use, but they go on exactly the same. that just screws in. Where's my flathead screwdriver? Here we go. Alright. And set this assembly aside. Pretty sure this goes in here. I think I need to oil that first. Set those aside. Put the lid back on my silicone oil. Now what do we need? Flipped too far. Did I? Oh no, I didn't. Okay. I flipped too far. So we're going to need this piece, and a little spacer to start with. The first part of this. So slide the spacer into here. And put this orange piece into here and make sure that the ridgy side, this bumpy side of the orange one that has the ridge surfaces facing forward. So basically make sure both sides with ridges are facing up. So don't put the ridges together. Put it like that. Test fit it, and it slides freely enough that it falls out. So yeah, that side slides pretty freely. Line up a nylon spacer into the bottom part, and then put screws in it. All right, so like that, and then we need small screws. Out there. Start the other one. There, so that's in there. Now put some elastic through the hole in the blueprint near the top, the arch channel inside the orange one, to the opposite hole. So in here, through here, out this side. And then feed both three ends of the elastic to the back. Okay, so up here. Can't really grip. Cut that. Surprised, I thought putting the elastic in these holes would be a lot harder. It seems very well designed. That. So now I need need to tie this. It says tie a square knot. I don't know knot terminology. It looks like he tied it like around like. So like he tied it the one, you know, where you wind it around like that and through. So maybe I shouldn't have cut it off so soon. I'll use elastic down here, and that's it. I think I have enough that I can try that one more time. So I can tie the knot. Put that through there. Put this through here. Alright. Alright. Now I should be able to tie a knot. Looks like the kind where okay. See? I find pliers to be very useful for holding things that you can't hold very well. Seems pretty decent, so that's doing that, and then I trim these off. Let's see, rotate this around. Maybe, maybe not. Trying to rotate around to hide the tails. Just push them into pliers. I'm just gonna leave them like that. So now what do I do? Need to put it through this middle part, and then okay, so I just need to do this again, but in a different spot. So down here. I'm pretty sure this is like the trigger return spring, except it's not a spring, it's a string, trigger return string. Need the pliers back. Why is this one? That might be an error with my print that I never noticed until now. Yeah, why is it? I don't think that's supposed to be sticking out like that. That's weird. I don't know why I printed like that. See this one right here sticking out a little further than all the other ones, and I don't know why. I think for some reason it printed like that. That's okay though. Will still work. Move this knot down. Darn it. I think I made it too loose. Let's see if I can grab the device. If I hold it in here, then I can use both of my hands. The other end of this guy. Oh, there it is. Oh, I think it's. Oh, it's supposed to be going. It's supposed to be going through there. What happened here? Let me try that again. And this, I think it's because this big tail needs to come through. Well, I think it's supposed to fit in there. It doesn't. Yeah, that seems a bit better now. Try to press that. I think my knot came out a little bigger than was expected, because it's two knots that just. All right. Now that part is done. Well, that step is done anyway. Now we need to attach this piece using 2 screws. There's 2 holes there, and there's 2 holes in that piece. Goes on like that. Get some screws. Right. Started. Start the other one. It's surprisingly harder to screw into this plastic than I expected. Right, that seems pretty tight. Now put some standoffs. All right, we need to put standoff in each slot on this print. So these two slots. Oh, not a round one. Shows a hex one. Oh, that was pretty easy. It says use a screwdriver to force it, but I don't think I'm going to need to do that. So now I can set this aside. Now I need trigger, this piece, and this bar here. So I need to take this apart. I think that's this piece. And this one needs to go on the back. It says make sure this piece is the right way around, because if it is upside down, it will not work. So it goes on this way, it looks like. So like that. Let's see. Now I need to put a short 1032 screw. It's like a little flathead one. Yes. It's one of these. Goes in that front hole. Interesting, these all have like little lock washers on them. I wonder if that's not supposed to be that wobbly. It's probably supposed to dig into that piece. Noticed a lot of my holes being too large. Bet that's the same deal there. So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't get in the way too much, but if it does, I will take it off and figure out some other way to reduce the wrap. And then this one, where does this go again? Like this. Then put a screw in it. Yeah, that one's nice and secure. I think that one was probably supposed to be a tighter hole. Well, oh well. Alright. Now this goes aside as well. Like a bunch of little sub-assemblies. Now we need to put a hex. We need this piece. And hex standoffs like that, and they go. There's a little. I don't know if you can see the little hole on the inside there. That goes right in there. Where'd my screwdriver go? Just push it in. Alright, and then just use a screw from the outside to pull it to the bottom. Let's remove the screws. So do I have to? And I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Just thinking, why do I have to remove the screws from these afterwards? But it might look cool, but that's because putting the standoffs here to put a screw into. And then there's an angled hole next to it, and it says to put a screw into, which I presume is to hold it in case it's a little loose. Okay, what kind of an angle is that at? Okay, I didn't have it steep enough. Holds that in. And then, one of them snuck into my other bowl. So I need to put it in here. There we go. Got it started. No, actually, let me back it out a little bit so I can show that to you. There, that's what that looks like. And that's what it looks like when it's all the way in. And I don't know if you can really see that or not. Hopefully I held it at a good angle. Now remove the outside screws, so the ones that you used to pull it all the way to the bottom. Take those out. Alright. Next step. I need this piece, front of the magwell, slide it on, then put screws into the indicated hole. So putting screw here, here, and the corresponding locations on the other side. My wrist is gonna be tired after this. Could use my electric screwdriver, but I don't want to strip anything accidentally. You can feel what you're doing a lot better with a manual screwdriver. So that's what I'm using. Ooh, what if I just spin that piece? There, I think that's in. Now, put them on the other side, here and here. Make sure mag slides nicely in there. Does. Put that aside. Now we need this piece and these two. Alright, so this one goes like this. And then these pieces are different on either side. They're flat on one side and on the other. Yeah. They're mirrored versions. So while they seem very similar, they're not the same. So just make sure you don't get them mixed up. How does that go on here? Ah, okay. So 2 holes in there line up with these 2 holes. And put screws in each side. Started. Just getting them started separately so I can make sure that they're lined up, because if I tighten one all the way down, then I need to, and then it's not quite lined up, I need to turn it. I have to undo that screw. That just could potentially make your life easier. Now for the other side. And then we need the mag release lever, this. So try to slide a short pin through the indicated holes. If it won't go all the way through any of them, you may need to clean them out using a drill bit. That one works well. That works well. And that works well. So put the mag release in, slide a pin in it. And put a screw in on either side to make sure it stays in there. So those screws are in there now. So now it should look like this. You can see with the mag release, you can see how it's gonna pivot and do that. Alright, next page. Put some elastic around there. So put elastic around here and around here. So what's this hole for? Take this little piece, just see. Probably can't tie that, so I'm just going to grab. I think this is the last thing I'm going to use elastic for. Pretty sure I read these instructions before. Okay, so let's use a square knot. Where are my pliers go? Right there. Make sure it stays hooked around there. Something go on the front of here? Well, your magazine, I guess. Maybe that hole is for... Maybe I'm supposed to put the elastic through the hole? Yeah, I might try to undo that. Try to do that. You know what? Actually, no, I'm not going to. I think I'm just gonna. Yeah. So if I do all that, it gets stuck, but I don't think you're gonna be moving your mag release that much. Just a little. So yeah, that should be good. Those off. Got enough elastic to replace something if it breaks. So that seems pretty good. Put my magazine back over there. Now, the trigger guard. Where is that? Oh, I was looking for an orange piece. I printed it in blue. Goes on like how? Right like that. So, oh, so it goes, okay, it goes up above that. Does it? Yep, it does say it. Like, I think I'm supposed to put screws in here, but better make sure. Okay, well, that's popping out. It's wiggling around as I'm screwing it. Once I get it tight, though, I don't think it should do that. Oh, yeah, it's a bit stiffer now. And make sure not to strip it. And don't strip the screw heads either. It's probably not very beneficial. Alright, that wiggles a little, but you have to be pretty intentional. Alright. Now put these pieces. Okay, these pieces go like, okay, these ones are also mirrored of each other, so they're different. On the sides like this. And again with small screws. It's not straight. That's better. Right. So now I need to put the other side on. Screw in here. I was saying that for getting the screws started, you can't just like turn it. You have to push on it a little bit, like just like push in on your screwdriver, so that you can get it started biting into the plastic. And then once it bites into the plastic, then you can stop pushing on it. You push on it and turn it at the same time. Alright. Now slide the magwell assembly into the top of the grip assembly. So put these two together. Like, how does this go? Okay, this piece goes at the back. So, like this. And put those together. And then put screws in these two holes and these two holes. So many little screws. So, plan to, once I get it together, well, obviously I'm going to test it, but then if it's working, I intend to use it at a war later this week. So I'm pretty sure this video won't be out until after that, because I'd like to use it, and then maybe if like something breaks, I can show you what happened, or like what broke. Then I can fix it. If I can fix it. Hopefully I can fix it. Well, hopefully nothing breaks, but if it does, hopefully I can fix it. There we go. It seems very solid, except for maybe this trigger guard, but that's only attached on one end. So it makes sense why that's going to be a little less solid. Drive a final screw through the front of the assembly. And this hole. So I'm not sure if you can see, like right in here. Before I built this, I made sure to hold my screwdriver up and see if it was long enough to reach through here. is, although screwing this might be a pain. That's actually not that bad. As you probably can tell, I went with just an elite color scheme because I like blue, and I think the elite color scheme looks very nice. Although, I went with sort of a translucent deep blue. U-channels. Okay, so add a U-channel to each side with a small screw, and make sure this center hole is closer to the back. Okay, so you can tell this isn't quite in the center. The center hole isn't quite in the center, so it needs to be more toward the back. Let me try to get this on. All right. So, yeah, center hole toward the back. This is going to that one hex standoff, so that was much nicer to put in than that one. So, center hole toward the back. It's going to go up. I also would be putting it on backwards, but we'll go on like this. There we go. If I don't put it on all the way to where I need to, and then just slide it on. Go. Now put the RAM assembly, so this into the back. See, it's gonna be like a that's gonna be fun. Add some silicone oil into the end of the plunger tube, then add the plunger. Okay. Let me take this back off. Silicone oil in it. Probably don't need to use all of it. This time I don't have to spread it with my fingers. Alright, there we go. Put that in there. Now I'll put this back on. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Maybe I'll try to make a long bolt. Let's see. Now what? Trigger assembly in through the back of the grip. Moment of truth, will my rubber band fit? And the moment of truth says no. So off with the rubber band. may try to make a new one of these. That's not sloppy like that. Not right now, but what's going here? Doesn't actually go in there too far. Alright, I think that goes something like that. And then cheek rest goes over the U channels, and the little, it goes closed end first. This is probably the worst quality print I got on here. I made these all myself though, so that's my fault. I like that he put the Indra name on there. Just goes on like that. Let's see, and then it goes on till those centered holes that weren't quite centered. And then alright, so screwed. What those holes are for. Maybe something, maybe nothing. Ooh. I just cracked it. Okay, I don't think so. I think it's just the little gaps and cracks that are already in there. Just printed like that. I don't know if the microphone picked it up, but there's a small cracking noise. I'm like, oh, did I break something? Darn it! See, I'm telling you about this hole going backwards, and I goofed it up. So I need to take this back off. Let's see if I can get away with not taking the cheek print off. Fine trigger just come out. There we go. Now it's on the right way. Fortunately, that wasn't a very complicated fix. Starting to come together, Grimel. Part of it is. Alright. Now what do I need to do? Pick this up because it's getting in the way. Now, the main spring. So this is a 788 spring that I ordered. I found a thing that Slug posted somewhere on Facebook, like a Caliburn group, I think, but saying that 788 got about 150 FPS with an Indra, which would be perfect for super stock. I also ordered a K31 from Out of Darts, which is not here yet, and that was more of like an HVZ spring. So Slide this. So now this piece goes on. There until it. Okay. So. Nope. Well, hex standoff falling out and trigger falling out. How is the trigger supposed to be in there? Does it show a better picture of that I should have looked at? Just goes in there. Just goes up over that, and then right there. Stop. Screws. Yeah, stock's a little short for me anyway. Might need to try to make a bigger one. I'll see it. Now I need the grip. This is the Indra grip, or what grip that comes with it. I have this other grip printed out, but I found it on Thingiverse by, I believe it was Silly Butts. And it has a little extra dovetailing here. So I just need to put that together with a couple of short screws. I think it's a pretty good design to use the short screws that came with the kit. Dovetail or beaver tail or whatever it is. Because I think the Thingiverse thing said something about beaver tail grip. I could be remembering completely wrong, but I think it did. And I seem to remember hearing someone calling it dovetailing. So, tailing, whatever kind it is. Grip tailing, I guess. That's nice and secure now. So roll around aluminum standoff into the slot on the grip. So let me show that. There's a hole in there. Standoff in the hole. Now put it on here and then screw it. And my standoff came out. Well, that's not going to work really well because the standoff's just going to rotate because it's round. Got a second screwdriver. I'm going to put both screws in at the same time. kind of, I guess, like when you have a nut and a bolt and you hold both sides. That's kind of what I'm doing. Oh, me. Switch screwdrivers. Alright. It's good and secure on there. Yeah, that feels nice. Oh, did I? Okay, how does this? It is on there, right? Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be like a pivot trigger. It's not. You got a little. You can see the catch moving up and down when you do that. Yeah, I like the bare bones nature of these. It's very cool to be able to see everything working. That's the reason I like clear blasters too. Alright, now put a hex nut. And I think this is a large hex nut. Because there's threaded rod. Yep. So put the nut in there. And then okay, those two are the same one. Okay, this is the right one. And this is just some spacer tubing. Or you can use, if you have a decorative stock spacer, you can do that too. I was going to print the thumbhole grip one, but it didn't want to print. It just failed every time I tried to print that one piece. So I ended up just giving up on it. And I don't know. It may end up being more comfortable anyway. Just gotta thread this in. Screw it in now. In right. Okay. So just that just rotates. I don't really want to grab this with threads. Let me see, if I put on another hex nut on the back now. Here's where this socket and ratchet come in. Okay, good, my socket does fit. Although, I think I want an extension for that. Let me go grab that. Extension for my socket. There we go. Put that in there. pretty good. I ended up using 2 acorn nuts. He gave extras, so I'm gonna put one on here, because I think it would be nicer. Because Slug has kindly sent a lot of extra pieces, which I'm very thankful for, very grateful for. Because even if I personally don't lose one, I'm sure someone has. And then it's like, oh no, what do I do? I had just enough pieces. I lost one. Yeah, I think the acorn nut looks quite nice on there. Yeah, I think if I'd printed that thumb hole, that it would have been, I think it would have been too small. All right, let's see. Now what? The rear half assembly is now complete. So this is a completed half of a blaster. So this point, to be able to put a round aluminum standoff into each one. I think I have the perfect way to do that. Let me turn that. Maybe you can see it better this way. I'm not sure. Let's try bottom first. First, I'm just going to try to tap it in with a hammer. I don't want to do that all the way in, because I don't want to break it. The print, that is. Maybe I will use a hammer, because the second side of this, yeah, the shape of it is getting in the way. Where's that old rubber pad? There it is. All right, I'm gonna set it on the rubber pad. Alright, so that is in there. Tried to get it pretty equal, just to make it look nice. I'm gonna grab the other one. It does say until you can force it in there. So a hammer is probably a fine tool for this. Yeah, it says until you can force around aluminum standoff. Doesn't say what tool to use. Come on, start. There we go. Now we're going. Now it's pretty centered. Now, force a hex nut into the slot on top. And on the bottom. Okay. So which side am I putting that? Okay, so by the standoff, up here, there's a hex nut spot. And these are the large ones. I don't have any. Well, actually, there aren't little hex nuts, just hex standoffs and things. All right, now put a threaded rod to the front of the print. Okay, put in the hex nut. So threaded rod in here. No, let me check something. Rail prints. Okay, nope. My hex nuts fell out. Yeah, I think my tolerances are not as tight. Just little gooks there. Still 3D printed strings. What? Fell out again. And stop screwing once it starts to poke out the opposite side. Sorry about there. See, right like that. Through the hex nut, through all that. Put it on the bottom. Alright. I think they look pretty good. So now it says slide either this black tubing, which would just go on there, but it's all curled up. But put this on there or 3 rail prints. I have opted for extra rails. These are it's just extra Picatinny rail. And I would like that. Plus I think it looks nice. Which side is that? Okay, I've got like this. Oh, I should probably show you that. See, they're actually not the same on each side. One of them has a bump out, and the other one has a dent in. And that is so they sort of semi-lock together. It's not perfect, but it's not designed to it's not designed to be something that holds them, I'm pretty sure. I think it's just sort of, like, not that permanently holds them, because you're going to put other pieces on there. I think it's just sort of supposed to help them stay the right way. Now, this piece. Is this piece directional? Yes, it is. Okay, I think the part with the wider holes, so just one has smaller holes, one has wider holes. That goes on. Or the wider holes faces these rail pieces, and then the other side faces out. So now I put a hex nut and an acorn nut on each of those. Acorn nut, hex nut, hex nut. I think this is what my wrench is for. Because I think my socket is, yeah, my socket's too shallow for that. Yeah, this end is easier. The open end is easier to use, I think, on this. Oh, the rod's turning a little bit. Do it like this, I think, get more travel. It's actually not turning out. What if I go back to this one? Does this one still turn? Oh no, it doesn't. Alright. That feels pretty sturdy. I mean, if I squash it like there, it goes like that, but the barrel's gonna go in there. Ooh. Oops. I need to loosen that. I wasn't paying attention. That just bent these. As I was screwing that, it tried to pull the hex nut further towards me and it ended up bending. So I need to loosen that. Until it's not bent. That one seems straight. Now I need to undo this one. I didn't expect that at all. Alright, there. It seems okay now. I put acorn nuts on the end of those. Ends of those. Just to keep it from being sharp, which is a good idea. Because if it was sharp, then you bump into someone, scratch them, or you could scratch yourself, which would not be pleasant for anyone. Now, move stuff out of the way so I can flip the page. Frog out of the way. Back over there. What does it say now? Add a hex nut to the socket on the inside. Oh, okay, I see what it demands. The inside of this piece, on the inside of either of these holes, there's a spot for a hex nut. I don't know if you can see, probably not, but I'll try to hold it up. And put a screw in it. I think these are just to hold the barrel in. Set screws for the barrel, I think is what they are. And we're gonna do that on the other side. Now what? Alright, let's see. Slide the barrel in. These, I think, got screwed them in a little too much. Back them off a little so that they don't scratch the barrel when I slide it through. And then I need to put O-ring on the barrel. This size, I think, because that's the one that fits. This is an 016 O-ring. Oh, pull that out a little further. Oop. Now I pulled the O-ring off. Now I need the white collet. Mine's white anyways. Flush. Okay, now that's flush. That just goes on little 3D printed threads. Wow, that actually holds it really well. More than I expected. Now I need to tighten these screws to clamp down. So yep, just set screws for the barrel. Tighten it to that. There. Try to make them look pretty equal. I went ahead and put the slots in the screws parallel to the barrel, because I think that looks pretty nice. Now, collet, O-ring, and then the muzzle. Now, with this muzzle piece, this is the normal one. I put some slots in this one, and this other one, because I have something else that I wanted to do with it. I will show you in just a moment. Trying to make sure I line this up. I think that's pretty lined up. Check for how secure the hold is. Yeah, I think the hold is pretty good. That collet really works. I was not expecting that. Now, where did I put these pieces? Now, I made these pieces to go on the front, if I can get them in here. Which, to make it look like the front of Mandalorian's rifle. Idea I actually stole from Drac. He mentioned it in his video that he could imagine someone turning it into a Mandalorian rifle. I'm like, I'm going to do that. And so I did. Alright, now that goes in there. Now drive a 440 screw, so more little screws. Guess there were 2 extra because those are the 2 I used. Because I used 2 for the grip. And, oh, wrong screw. And then, I think there's just enough screws left to do this. Come on. Alright. Right. I don't think this whole thing is, well, I don't think this whole thing is going to fit in frame. The aluminum standoff. What standoffs? I don't remember putting standoffs in. Alright. Now I need one for each of these sides. Oh, standoffs like in there. Okay, yeah. I don't remember putting them in there, but they're in there. Oh wait, oh yeah, those were those standoffs I put in this piece. I was thinking they're in the piece on the back half. They're on the front. I remember those now. Let's see. I probably will not use this Mandalorian attachment in Nerf War because I don't want to poke anyone with it. Because that would not be pleasant for anyone. Alright. I just lost the tubing that goes here instead of the rails. But okay, so that's all assembled. So now brought down to the workbench. I brought a magazine and some darts so I can test it. And since it has like a Vanguard style skinny pusher thing in there, you don't need to pull it back too. You don't need to prime it to use to put the magazine in. Alright, I'm gonna move this and then ooh, that's cool. I like that. Alright, I'm gonna shoot this the other way. Because at that time I just shot it into a wall. I'm gonna shoot it somewhere where I have some range. Oh, I like that. It shoots pretty far. But yeah, this is my Indra. I hope this was a helpful video for you with building your own Indra or just for entertainment. I'm very pleased with how this came out. I think it looks very nice. And I'm very excited to use it in Nerf War. Yeah, like I said, if anything breaks, there will be another section after this. Hopefully nothing breaks, but if it does, there will be another section after this showing how I fix it. Alright, so as far as any issues I had, there were only 3 of them. I had that this plunger tube kept coming off up here, and when it did, it was hard to push it back on because the O-rings wanted to deform and push out of the way. So what I did to get it back on when that happened was I just used this plastic pry tool, and that was just easy to just push them back on. You know, I'd try to line it up and then just push them back on. And I already fixed that. That actually happened before the Nerf War, but that's what happened there. The other issue is that I swapped it to a K31 spring, but with the spring being a smaller diameter, it moved around too much in this white piece back here. So I had to modify the piece digitally and then print it out with a smaller inner diameter so the spring did not move around and get in the way of the plunger rod, because otherwise it wasn't catching. And then the third and probably the worst problem I can think of that I had is that this screw back here came out of the hex standoff and then the hex standoff fell out. Fortunately, I found both of them, and this one almost came out as well. So that one I'm going to fix here with just some Loctite. Get out my screwdriver. I don't know if I'm supposed to shake it or not, so I did, just in case. So if I just put this standoff back in. There. And then I will take take this other one out and do the same thing. Which just does mean it'll be a little harder to take off if I want to change the spring, but should be doable. And then I'll just put this back on. When I change the spring, I'll just put the Loctite back on the screws. But for now, I'm going to leave this spring in it. So I think that's all I need to do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.